Hi, I'm Tara with Simply Made Eats and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making sweet potato casserole. It's that one time of year, it's almost Thanksgiving. It's the time of year where everybody kind of starts to panic because it's finally holiday mode. This one is so delicious. You guys, check this out. This is a recipe that you really don't need to get intimidated by. It's one of the ones we can make it in the morning and then bake it right before our guests come so it's fresh and delicious. You guys, we're getting started with some water boiling on the stove and we are gonna go ahead and peel our potatoes. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're gonna get started by just peeling our potatoes. And you guys probably know this if you see my other videos, but I like to always use a bowl just to catch my mess. Just makes it a lot easier. Okay, so when our potatoes are cooking, we're also gonna melt a stick of butter. It's Thanksgiving and you can't get fat on Thanksgiving. It's just a holiday, it doesn't count. So we're gonna melt one stick of butter. We're gonna use half of this for our actual sweet potato filling and then we're gonna use the other half for the topping. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so right now when our potatoes are cooking still, we are gonna make our topping. This is gonna be half of the butter stick that we use. So a 1/4 cup of melted butter. We're also gonna use a 1/4 cup of flour and 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Okay, so as you can see, it's like perfect little grain, sandy texture. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna like just top this on top of our sweet potatoes when they come out, and then we're gonna top it with pecans and marshmallows too. It's gonna be so yummy. So for now, we're gonna just set this aside. So for our sweet potato mixture, we are gonna use the KitchenAid mixer, and if you guys don't have a KitchenAid mixer, you can easily just put it in a large bowl and use a masher to mash it up. I just love my KitchenAid mixer, so I use it like at any chance I have. It's like my favorite tool in the kitchen, I would have to say. I have the classic one from, I've probably had it for like, oh my gosh, over 10 years since I really started cooking. Okay, so for the mixture for the sweet potatoes, we have 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're gonna go in with 1/4 cup of butter that we had left over. I stir this a little bit, you can whisk it. It doesn't really need to be perfect. We're just gonna add our sweet potatoes on top of this. It's gonna be so easy. And then we're just gonna throw in a little bit of milk and it's gonna be ready to almost be ready to bake. Okay, so our potatoes have been cooking for almost 20 minutes. It really takes a little bit to cook these. So I'm gonna let them go a couple more minutes. I kind of like to see them fall apart a little bit when I poke into them with a fork, and some of the bigger pieces just aren't all the way cooked yet. So we're gonna give them a couple more minutes. After 20 minutes, they're finally ready, so we're gonna strain them. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add our sweet potatoes into our brown sugar mixture that we just made. Okay, now we're gonna add our 1/4 cup of milk. This just really helps it get that creamy texture that we want. So I wanna know about Thanksgiving for you. Do you get stressed out or do you just kind of go with the flow? Let me know in the comments how you guys handle Thanksgiving. I've definitely had crazy Thanksgivings. This year I'm only having just my family and my parents over, so I'm totally not stressed out about it at all. But I've definitely had Thanksgivings with a lot more people. We actually just hosted like 25 people the other weekend. My husband's family was over and that was pretty stressful. So I am not worried at all about this Thanksgiving. Right now I'm just chopping up some pecans You guys can do walnuts on here on the topping, or you can just do no nuts at all if that's what you like. It really just is a personal preference. I'm gonna, in a second, I'm gonna layer our sweet potatoes down in a casserole dish, and then we're gonna top it with this really good topping, and then we're gonna top that with marshmallows and these pecans. Okay, so I'm just gonna layer our sweet potato mixture nice and neat in here in this casserole dish. This looks so good. I love sweet potatoes. I feel like they're really underrated, but they're so delicious. Try and get it all out of there. These bowls are so heavy. And now we're gonna take this little sand mixture that we made with the flour and the brown sugar, and we're just gonna sprinkle it over the top. And this is gonna look so pretty when it bakes. Right now it's kind of like, why are we doing this? But it adds a nice little sweetness to it. I like my sweet potato casserole really sweet. I want it to be almost like dessert. Now we're gonna layer our marshmallows. And I just use about a cup or so. It doesn't have to cover every single spot, but I think most people like marshmallows on their sweet potato casserole. All right. Yum. And then we're gonna add our pecans. How good does that look? Okay, and I just made a disaster mess in my kitchen, so I'm gonna clean up, but this is gonna bake for 25 minutes at 375. Oh my gosh, guys, I wish that you could smell my kitchen right now. All I can say is holy toasted marshmallow. This looks so good. I can't even describe the smells from like the toasted pecans and marshmallows. Oh my gosh. This is delicious. You guys, it's not like your typical like sweet potato dish. This one is a little bit naughty and it's gonna be delicious. All right, let's taste it. And it is officially taste testing time. This looks so amazing. I can't wait to eat it. I gotta make sure I get some marshmallows on there. This is so good. You guys, I'm not usually a big fan of pecans, but the pecans are almost a must-have on this. If you're not allergic to nuts, put the pecans on there. I promise it will be worth it. It's really good. They toast in the oven just perfectly. And I didn't even have to broil this. It was honestly like just the perfect timing. 25 minutes. The marshmallows got super browned on top. No broiling even necessary. This recipe was so simple. I know it takes a little bit of time with peeling the potatoes and boiling them, but after that, it's really, really easy to make. You guys try this one at home. I promise you will love it. Let me know in the comments if you make it and how much you loved it. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.